Get up and get out. Get out. Get out. I have a question for you. Say Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord. Say it. You say Christ is Lord. Get out. Get out. Christ is Lord.
Hello and welcome in to another episode of Offensively Accurate, hosted by yours truly, Atlas Thugs, aka White Boy Voice, aka another racially ambiguous Groyper, and I'm here to tell you that Jesus loves you and Christ is King, unfortunately alongside many other terrible things. But we do have a positive, and that is the fact that Mr. Greg the Groyper is joining us tonight. This is going to be the second collab in a series of many of them in our collab season 2, and we're going to go ahead and get some of the stuff right out of the way. I will tell you, check out our sponsor, NAV Metallurgy. I always do it wrong. NAV Metallurgy, if you want to do any kind of custom 3D print, whether it be with polymers or steel or any other kind of crazy material they have over there, or if you want some kind of light box, check them out at AthenOrLLC.com.
Yo, Jimmy, thank you, bro.
And we are getting ready to bring in Greg the Groyper, who is also streaming on his side on Kick as well. And for those who want to find him, you can check him out on Kickstream as well as X, and both of those links are in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into it. And welcome in. Greg, how are you doing? Did you lose audio of me?
Hey, what's up, man? How you
doing? Doing good. Okay. That's funny. Good to have you in studio, man. This is our first time. It's our first time meeting. Craig's mic is echoing. Hopefully that will change.
Sorry. Is that better?
I think you're fine. Looks like you're fine on my end. But with that, if there is more issues, just let us know in the chat. We'll fix them. But this is our first time meeting, man, and great guy so far. I caught you on Kick. I believe it was Toy Groyper actually who connected us. I think he was in my chat and said, "Hey, I shouted you out to Greg while he was on stream, and you guys should collab." And next thing you know, 2 weeks later, here we are. But I really just don't know anything about you actually, so that's kind of what I'm curious about. The massive account on X, you know, you're at what, 30K? Just under 30K?
Yeah, what is it, 26, 27K? My bad, I just figured out why there was an echo there.
No, you're good.
I've never used this program before, yeah, but that's my bad.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I think 26, 27K. Yeah, appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. And I, been kind of slowly like Thanos kind of collecting the Groyper generals like one by one. I don't know if you even consider yourself or give yourself that tag, but
I was about to say, don't say it. Give me A-log.
Am I gonna offend people?
Yeah, no, they get real, butthurt about that. No, I do not consider myself a Groyper general. Okay, there
Interesting.
are no Groyper generals anymore. I know you can say that. You're allowed to say stuff like that without getting destroyed. But if I even so much as first of all, I never do, but like my followers will sometimes be like, "Oh, my favorite general," and then you get, my haters are like, "Get him."
That's funny.
Pitchforks.
Well, that's kind of one of the first things I actually wanted to talk about, because I couldn't tell. I still see it occasionally. I couldn't tell for the longest time. Like, is it a joke? Like, is it satirical? Or is this like actually like a legitimate thing?
Yeah, no, some of it's satirical, it's kind of become like an inside joke too at this point. We were talking about it a little bit before the show, but back in like December, I wasn't doxxed like I am now. Obviously my face is here, my name, Greg the Groyper, but people know I'm Cody USA. But back then I tried to separate the two. Now, I'll take responsibility. I didn't have the best OPSEC. I messed that up a bit. I was a little too trusting, but I had beef with one particular person, and then he posted my docs everywhere, and then I just kind of doubled down. I sat down and was like, I either run away and disappear, or I just double down and I said, screw it. Now I got to preface all this by saying I do not recommend people to self-dox. There's pros and cons. You know, I was telling you, now I can have my face here or whatever, but overall it's like, dude, there's a lot of extra anxiety that comes with being a face fagged Groyper.
Yeah, real.
But you know, overall, yeah, I mean, there's some jokes, and I laugh at them. I saw there's a guy who made an AI. It's making me look like I follow some corn account. Sorry, I know we're on YouTube. I don't want to get you flagged. But,
no, you're good.
They made an AI. Dude, it has like 70, 80 million freaking...
I saw that this morning. I did see that.
Dude, and then somebody changed it to like a femme, like, you know, some trans shit, and made it and changed it from the Latino one to that. And now that one's going viral. So, dude's got his most viral tweet off A-logging me. So, you know, apparently it's like a gimmick now. But, you know, most of the beef with anybody relevant has been squashed. You know, a lot of it was just dumb. And I tried to put some of it to bed way back in like December. And that kind of came with me releasing certain details about myself that eventually only got used against me. But hey, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think everybody important in the community knows, you know, if you want to get on me for being a dummy by putting myself out there like that and, you know, trusting some of these people, which eventually got me doxxed, I'll take that on the chin. But, you know, some of the stuff I've seen people make up about me, it's like, dude, I'm not that important, dude. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who's passionate about all this kind of stuff. I've been watching Nick for a long time. I stayed off Twitter, clearly rightfully so, because I used to work a corporate job. And then I lost that. I got canceled in my own little stuff that had nothing to do with the Groypers. So after that happened, I'm like, well, at least now I don't have as much to lose. I work for myself. I can't be fired or anything like that. I don't have a lot of family. So I say all that to say, if you're out there and you're thinking, it didn't go so bad for this guy. No, seriously. If you have a job, if you have family, it could be a lot worse for you. And even for me, I've had to deal with a lot of stuff. People hitting girls up I haven't seen in 10 years. Like, oh, you used to date Cody?
That's crazy. Trying to get like dirt on you just by like texting the exes.
Oh, okay, dude, I've had them hit up girls I genuinely dated 10 years ago, hit up family members, post pictures of my family and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, don't recommend it. If you can stay completely off all of that, it would be beneficial to you. But you know,
they do that to me, I'm screwed. Thanks for the warning. No, I won't A-log anybody. We're all friends here. But that's actually kind of a tumultuous upbringing, if you will, background. So I'm kind of curious, like, what was the start? Like, when did you start listening to Nick Fuentes? How did you become Greg the Groyper?
Yeah, I found him from back in the COVID days, like just seeing him on Twitter. But then I wasn't watching like every night. I was just like, oh, this guy, like I didn't get vaxxed, and I'm like one of the only people I know that didn't get vaxxed. So, you know, I guess started paying attention to him back then. I used to play his clips and stuff on my Twitch, because I used to stream on Twitch back then.
Word.
And so I played some of his clips back then, and then it was, you know, the 2020 election. You know, he was everywhere on X, and yeah, I mean, I guess just slowly since then, I just kind of started watching more, paying attention. I would follow like the Clippers and some of the bigger X accounts, and then I just kind of found him from there. And you know, I guess made the Gray account like a year ago, and was like, okay, now I'm going to delete everything Groyper related from my Cody personal account, and I'm just going to put it all on this anonymous account. It's going to be perfect. Nobody will know who I am.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't work out, but you know,
it's funny. I guess, well, funny in the sense that here you are now, you know, still cutting your teeth, if you will. And I guess it's like self-employed now. This is kind of where you are, cutting the teeth on doing between Twitter and Kick.
Yeah, no, I mean, kicking Twitter and all that's just a hobby. It's not like I make any substantial money from any of that. So, it's just a hobby, really. I just like doing it, but definitely don't consider streaming or, social media or anything like that a job for me. Just kind of, just a hobby, what I like to do. But I am self-employed. I don't really want to get into all the details on that.
No, totally. Yeah, don't dox yourself again. We don't need round two.
Yeah. So now I'm in a different position, and I have been from the beginning, to be fair. Like ever since I made the Greg account, I was already self-employed. So it's kind of different than it was maybe, before I made the Greg account. When I was working a corporate job, I had already gotten fired for online shit years ago. And that's, some people know that story. We don't gotta,
no, that's fine. Yeah, if you don't want to, it's fine.
Secret, it's just it's not that funny. I just, some shit went viral on my own personal stuff, me just being a spurg, and the Muslims came for me. The Muzzies came for me. They got me fired. Look, Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabia, what's it called? Company, or the station headquarters of my company that I used to work for. I used to work in finance. They called my job and were like, this guy, racist is working for you. So that was long before anybody knew me as Greg.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of have a bit of I'm like on the other end actually, where I was like, if I want to do what I want to do, I'm going to become unhireable. So I was like, let me go ahead and I guess embrace it ahead of time. So I did some kind of like side hustles and stuff. I actually have built myself off of the back of doing a bajillion different side hustles. I think most people know I probably work 24/7, way more than I should, way more than my wife would like to. But I guess you're a bit of an older Groyper than me. I kind of, to keep it clean, without a long explanation, like I'm like October 7th Groyper, probably be the best way. I mean, I was kind of more on tuning into the scene around 2022, which most people would consider just kind of a shit year, mid-year. But that's kind of where I came in at. And I've been full sending ever since. And it's kind of wild, and I imagine you feel the same way. You're in a position where if you just say you like Nick, or you are a Groyper, or anything like that, you feel like you're instantly put in a position where like everyone's making you defend anything he said. Oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? And so like, it almost feels like you're playing this game of like interpreter, but it's at the same time, like, I don't even speak for the guy. Like, I like the guy. I consider myself a follower of his. I'm he's the top person I listen to nowadays. But this kind of consistent, no one else has that. No one else even seems to have like this extreme kind of A-logging background to him. And it's just been something I'm sure you have to deal with as well too. But in terms of the family element, this is something that I've had to deal with a bunch, and I'm sure you do too. Now that you're finding faces out there, what is it like dealing with the family, knowing like what your political positions are, or I guess how often do you engage with your family on that kind of stuff?
I really don't have a ton of family. That's kind of why I say I'm in a better position than some to be doxxed. But the ones I do have, they've known how I am, how I feel about all this kind of stuff for years. I've been posting at like this kind of content for really almost 10 years on my personal accounts and stuff like that. But when it comes to the Groyper stuff, obviously it got taken up another level. Like I used to, even while I was posting all that kind of stuff, you never really saw people come for my family, anything like that. So I was like I said, my OPSEC was not great. I had like 600 pictures on my Instagram. So people were going through once they figured out I was Greg, and they were finding oh, he's tagged here. So here's his family. Here's his, I don't even want to say specific people because they'll go right back and find him again. But, so that aspect's been different, realizing that it is a little bit different once you're labeled as a Groyper. Back then it was just like, oh, this guy's a racist Nazi, whatever. And you'd think, oh, they'd want to come for you harder. But now it's like, it's a different level. That's for sure. So, I've had people, like I said, hit up my parents, hit up my siblings, my, ex-girlfriends, ex-fiance, them hit up, I coach jujitsu. So people hit up gyms I used to coach at, hit up, gyms they thought that I co-owned. Luckily, the beautiful thing is they don't have all my information correctly.
That's good.
I've kept some stuff to the chest, thank God. So that's probably saved me with some of this stuff. But it does get tiring. It's gotten a little bit. It's kind of chilled out a little bit. There was kind of a group of people that were that have been dedicated A-logs for like months and months, and a lot of that's died down. Now I've kind of squashed it with most of them. Now it's kind of just ankle biters, like small little. Even the guy who posted that thing we were just talking about, that's like some random. So you get that kind of stuff that get like 10 likes on every post, but when they make up some bullshit about me or make some AI gay corn of me, it'll be their first viral tweet. So then they start doing it over and over. I guess they saw it was working for other people, so they joined in on it. It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it doesn't get a little tiring, but I said tarrying because there's a guy named Terry in my chat right now. He's Spurry now, but it actually is kind of fitting because he is a Spur. But
That's funny.
No, it does get a little tiring, but at the end of the day, that's just kind of how it goes on the internet.
Yeah.
And especially once you develop any sort of following. Especially on X, bro. Like I love X, but it can be pretty toxic. So, you just kind of got to laugh a lot of that stuff off. Even genuinely today, I got added into a group chat that was hundreds of people that used to be like dedicated haters of mine. I just went in there. I'm posting memes. I'm like, I'm just posting you just got to laugh it off, dude, honestly, at the end of the day, because if you take Twitter too seriously and you have any sort of big account, you're going to rage out. That's how a lot of these people turn A-logs. They probably actually genuinely do like Nick and like the Groypers, but they start getting graped on X, especially if they start to gain a following. They start getting A-logged, and then they just say, "Oh, screw this, man," and they just turncoat. I'll tell you, if I could handle the last 6 months, let alone the last year, of all the kind of posting my family, posting my name, posting my siblings and my parents, ex-girlfriends. If I can handle all that and I didn't reply to a single one of those posts, if I can ignore all that, bro, they ran out of ammunition at this point. So it's kind of like, whatever, dude. At the end of the day, this isn't about me. This is about Nick and supporting the community. So I try to not take it too serious. The only stuff, some people cross the line, and then I'm like, dude, if you want to post all about me, talk crap about me, whatever, cool. Can you just leave my family and leave certain stuff like that out of it? If you could do me the kindness of that, I would, I'll laugh off the rest.
Yeah. No, I get that. Also, I want to say too, I didn't mention this. All super chats I'll be reading at the end. Any and all super chats I'll read at the end, so we can save the flow of the conversation. But no, I mean, it's politics in general too. It's a knife fight, and I think it's also it's funny because to me, it mirrors what's happening to Nick all the time. It's like Nick has all the knives out against him. Then it's like the Groypers also have all the knives out, both outward and inward. So it's like a very kind of just, what you said, toxic environment. I'm kind of glad you made it through it. And I think it does take somebody who can take a few on the chin to even survive in this environment. Because if you crash out at the first time someone disagrees with you or calls you, whatever, they drop the hard R. It's like, what's over for you? Because the moment you kind of you show that little bit of reprieve, you show that you have a vulnerability, they're just going to dig into it like over and over and over again. And they'll just either, like what you said, they'll run you off the platform. But with the introductions aside, I'm glad I was able to learn a little bit more about you. I'm kind of curious, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. There's stuff all over the place. You have protests in New York City, you have the Iran war, you have UK's on fire essentially. Where has the majority of your attention been in the last couple of weeks?
As much as as much as kind of nothing happens, I would say the last, it's been kind of a slow year, as Nick's been joking a lot lately. Honestly, the past couple weeks at least has been, it seems like a good bit has been happening. Obviously you had the Carmelo case, which obviously took anybody in this space's attention for there for a little bit. And then you had the UK stabbing, and then you have now just the grape files coming out. The past couple of days, that's definitely taken a lot of my time. I try to kind of stick to American politics, but that's been a big one lately for me. I mean, it's a tough read, but I have read a good bit of it and then listened and, you know, tried to look online, find out more about it. But yeah, I mean, I think the big overarching out of all those things is kind of just a white pill would be, it does kind of seem like a lot of people are kind of, especially a lot of white people are kind of trying to, or are kind of starting to, I hate to say it, it's so cliche, but wake up. I mean, it does seem like this year has been eye-opening for a lot of people, even like people I know IRL, you know, like normie family members, normie, you know, family friends and stuff here. And I'm saying like, I mean, some of them send me Nick reels and they're like, man, this guy really is pretty smart. Like this guy really, you might be onto something. The same people who were calling me like crazy, you know, years ago.
Right.
And, you know, I just think the one white pill out of all of it, because it can be pretty black pilling to see all this kind of stuff, all this like, you know, black on white, brown on white, foreign on American violence, or even European. But I'd say the white pill is, man, for one of the white pills is that young people especially are waking up completely. I mean, you even look at, even though it sucked, and yeah, I'm not some huge Massey stan. I have my issues with his policies and stuff, but at the end of the day, he is better than most. So it was still in the short term a negative for him to lose the election. But I actually said, and then Nick put it much more eloquently. But even right after it happened, I told my stream like, long term, this could end up being a good thing because all the like America first, but not Groyper type normie boomers, especially. Maybe not especially the boomers, especially the young people, but even some of the boomers are going to be like, damn, maybe Israel does have a chokehold on our country. Yeah. So I try to stay white pilled, man. It can be tempting. You read all this, especially like I was just getting into that the stuff going on in the UK right now. It can be easy to be like, oh, hope is lost. And people are always saying in my stream or, you know, tweeting it to me, whatever. But I kind of try to remind myself, you know, first of all, it's anti-Christian to black pill. So even though don't get me wrong, we all do stuff. We all have negative thoughts where we're like, it's so over. But I think it's good to remind yourself, especially if you're a Christian, to just say, hey, like, it's never over. And in the end, Jesus Christ is going to win. So that like we can win in this life too. We're going to win in the next life if we stay, you know, true to Jesus and we, you know, do everything we can. That's not to say we're going to be a perfect Christian, but as long as we don't completely black pill and just turn into, you know, our darkest selves, we're going to win in the end. So why not try to keep some sort of hope in this life too? So, you know, I think there is white pills. It's just a matter of perspective. I don't think it's completely over for us. So, you know, there is some good out there to see amongst all the terrible things that are happening out there. You can find some good.
Yeah, no, I'd love to hear it. And on that note, actually, there's probably another through line in there. And I'm curious how much of this you've had to deal with, because even inside of the dissident wing of young people who are waking up, especially like white men, there seems to be like this big split where you have the Groypers in like the Christ first crowd, and then you have the white first crowd, which is like race above all. Some of them even, you know, paying homage to Christianity, but saying outright, you know, like race is the number one issue. I guess what's been your experience with that? What's your thoughts on that? And like me, I find myself basically arguing with everybody on this side of the space about what is most important. And I find it to be tarrying, like you said earlier, but, you know, very tiring to have to do. So kind of like, what's been your experience with them?
Yeah, shout out Terry. But no, I mean you put it perfectly there. I mean there is kind of two sections, and even some of these people, some of them would just be full on Wignat, and then there's kind of that little, if it's a Venn diagram, you got those people that still kind of claim Groyper, but they, at the end of the day, they're kind of white first and then Christian second. And I just try to say, look, I'm as pro-white as you can find out there, but I'm Catholic first. I'm Christian first. And, you know, I will never put my race above my, you know, my Christianity, my faith. just because. Look, I mean, obviously, I want America to stay majority white. I want Europe to stay majority white. I want to fight for my race, my people, just like I expect other races to. And I don't see anything wrong with that. But at the end of the day, like, I am Jesus Christ first above absolutely everything. And it's always going to be that. And sometimes you get that, especially you see these things like the stabbing in the UK, everything going on with the Jays here in America, with the Carmelo case, and you start seeing all this. I mean, you see this aftermath of the Carmelo case and all this kind of stuff. It can be quick to be like, bro, TND. You know what I mean? It can be quick to start having those type of thoughts. And I'll get people saying that kind of stuff in my stream on X, all that kind of stuff. I think it's just important to try to dude, sometimes you just got to log out. You just got to breathe. You got to go to mass. You need to just be like, look, it's perfectly human and normal to have these kind of thoughts. Dude, perfect example. I see somebody in your chat said like Frojax. Frojax actually replied to one of my tweets because I was just like a couple of days ago because I was saying it's like basically that abortion thing was going on and I was giving my talk. As a Christian, obviously I'm against abortion of all kinds, no matter what. And they replied and were like, what if it's a J or a black? And I was like, bro, I didn't even dignify it with a response. And I actually like some of their content. Yeah. Like I think they're pretty good at debating race. And again, I'm pro-white. So if you're a pro-white debater, I'm probably going to align with you on a lot of things. Right. But at the end of the day, I think that's why it's so important when Nick, like he went on a good monologue, one of my favorite monologues the past year, when that whole Andrew Wilson, Richard Spencer thing happened. And he was kind of talking about how like, I'm Christian first. And I'm a Christian. If you don't like that, like F you. And I think that's so important. That message, like, dude, I get goosebumps hearing that monologue. Like I played it on my stream and it hits because it's just like, it can be easy to get lost into like the whole, us versus them, white, WP, TND, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, dude, it's like we are a Christian. And especially if you want to call yourself a Groyper. If you want to call yourself a Groyper, it's important that, like, especially if you have a big platform. And like you kind of touched on this before we even got on this topic. It's especially important for me now that like, and I had to kind of think about that more over the last 6 months because back then I could kind of get away with saying certain things out of emotion or maybe not thinking too much. Now I really, especially obviously on X or on my stream, I kind of got to think twice all the time because people, I mean, especially like the new guys or like, people who are they're not in the know. They see me and they think everything I say is from Nick's lips. It's like, look,
you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. I try to align obviously as much as I can. That's why my bio for like 6 months I said, I do not speak for anybody but myself because people will DM me and be like, hey, tell Nick or hey, Nick. It's like, dude, I'm just Greg, bro. I'm just Cody.
That's funny.
But, so I think it's important, especially for anybody, even if you have 100 followers, if you have Groyper in your name, if you have a Groyper profile picture, you need to have like the thought of, hey, like Nick would not condone this. And if you want to say that, you should probably take Groyper out of your name. I'm not saying you have to regurgitate, like never say anything of your own opinion. But the bigger your platform grows, if Groyper's in your name, if people associate you with Nick and the Groypers, you should probably try out of respect.
Exactly.
To have your message as aligned as possible. And at the end of the day, if you're a Groyper, hey, I have a question for Nick. Your chat's funny. But if you have a bigger platform, especially, you should try to, remember that this is a Christian movement. And, if you're not Christian, like, it doesn't mean you can't support Nick, you can't support the Groypers, but kind of like Nick said, dude, it's like you're kind of never going to fully be on the team. Because we are a Christian movement. We are, majority Catholic, but in general, Christian movement. And you shouldn't be look, you can be pro-white. I'm pro-white. I'm talking about pro-white issues damn near every day. But I'm not going to fully black pill. And we're not talking about violence. We're not talking about, as much as sometimes maybe you get the thoughts. I get it. I do too. Anybody who knows me knows I do. But I'm far from perfect, but I think it's important to just kind of remind yourself, like, we're a Christian movement. Nick is Christ first. And so if I'm going to align myself with him and his movement, I'm going to call myself a Groyper, especially as your platform grows. You should be trying to, push the same message.
Yeah, you should be in line with it, right? It's kind of the, I think if anything, what we kind of have to expect is all these people who are like, what's the word, skin suiting it. You see like Amy Dangerfield and whatever her trans husband's name is. And, you have like Dan Kazarian, you have, so many of these people. I don't know if you would say Dan Kazarian skin suiting it, but you have all these people who, even at the bare minimum, were like getting close to Nick and like using the energy of Nick. And then they go off on their own, and then they're wondering why we're not supporting them. And it's like, well, you went off on your own. You just, you castigated this belief, or you said you disagree with this. And it's like, so we're not going to go over there with you. But I do totally get it too. Like, it's kind of just the concept of the fact of for one, it's America first, but also it's the designation of this is to try to be a serious political movement. And when people want to just say F the optics and say whatever, TND or much worse than that, it's like, well, of course, no one's going to take you seriously. It's kind of the same when you look at the crowd. I had this when I went to Chicago. I was just there this weekend and surrounded by a bunch of, like quote unquote normies. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is what it's like to talk to real people. I'm so used to talking to like Groypers and being on the internet. You forget how far away the average person is from really, for one, caring about what's going on, or two, having any idea what really is happening. And so, yeah, when they see you come in the scene, you're screaming the hard R. It's like, they're going to be telling the police, hey, get that guy. That guy who's screaming the hard, okay, get him. And it's kind of funny. And again, part of this goes back to the optics cucking and just the overall element of the movement. And funny you brought up Frojax as well. And I forget somebody said this to me earlier today. I wish I could remember who it was, or to give you guys credit. But apparently Frojax, I think it was Mitch actually. But Frojax apparently, like, I guess kind of already knew who I was, which I found to be curious. And maybe that is because I did take on a debate with Rhetorically Defective not too long ago about the exact issue about white versus Christ. And it just turned into like a ridiculous shouting match. And it's funny because they try to get you these gotcha questions, and that plays well for their audience too. Oh, would you abort a baby if it was a J or an N? And like their people are like clapping, like, yeah, we definitely would. And it's like, no, like I find that honestly kind of grotesque. Like, why is that the next question after do I support abortion? And I think what Nick said too, like the visualization, that's one thing he's really good at, and just in general when he talks. But the visualization of like, you would turn your back on Jesus because you found your race to be more important of equality, more important of a supreme principle to operate from. Like I'm the same way. Like I find that to be just, if anything, I find that to be, that's what lesser men do. And I'm not even trying to be offensive, but like that to me is like that's what differentiates a lesser man versus a greater man. And people can be offended by that if they want to. I don't really care. But that to me is kind of like that big breakaway, which is there's and you kind of see it too, like there's a natural, what they call IQ gate, seems to be in the movement, people who get it, people who don't. And I don't really know what you do from that beyond, like, I think there's just going to be a natural tension that we're going to see. I guess my thought is if we're more successful, the culture continues to be more successful, I think the expectation will be, we're probably going to see a lot more of these kind of debates come up, especially when you have somebody like Rebecca from Belly and the Beast and Devon Stack. They run a new show together. I think it's called High Noon. But Rebecca said on The Backlash, I think this maybe about a couple months ago, that she's less concerned about America and more concerned about white people across the globe. And that to me was like, I don't care about Aussies. I don't care about, like, I do in the sense of like, I wouldn't want anything bad to happen. But to me, it's like, I care about America, like my country. I could give a shit less what's happening in Australia and all that. Like, good luck to them. But just to hear that from somebody was like, yeah, we aren't the same then. Like if you would put that over America, then of course we're not the same. But man, to me, I'm very tarried of these kinds of people, actually, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it kind of goes to like what Nick said. I mean, sometimes maybe if our goals align, we can share a goal, but that doesn't mean, it's kind of like with this whole thing with the left and right, like he's been talking about a lot lately. Like, let's not forget these people want us dead. It's kind of the same thing. Some of these people get lost in the sauce with we're voting for Amy Acton. If it came down to it, it would be anything but Vance or Rubio.
Right.
Some people, it's like, okay, yes, all that's true. That let's not forget though that like these people want us dead. It's and some people get like lost in the sauce and they forget like, hey man, like these people are not one of us. They're not on our side. And it's the same thing with like these hardcore Wignats, these like pagans.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to like throw shots because I'm not saying if you aren't a Christian, you can't like Nick. You can't. I mean, to an extent, support the community and stuff. But I mean, hey, it's Nick's words. Like this is a Christian movement.
Yeah.
Groypers are a Christian movement. Nick is a Christian first, and also he and we disavow violence. We did
Right.
like listen. It's normal to get those kind of thoughts. It's normal to at this point, if you're one of us, if you're in this community, to have these kind of pro-white. You can get a little lost in it sometimes and have like a part of you that maybe against your Christian morals has some thoughts that go against what any of us stand for, but to actually go out every day and like voice them, let
Right.
alone go on
Yeah. Push for it.
platforms,
Yeah.
it's just not the move. Nick wouldn't endorse that. So, especially some of these people, they got big platforms and they call themselves a Groyper and they're out here like just counter signaling left and right. And it's just, listen, we can't stoop to their level. It's like we can be pro-white and that doesn't mean we have to be evil. That doesn't mean we have to want violence to happen. We can take our own side without being like some of these people. And at the end of the day, yes, we don't need to be how some of these non-Christians are like, hey man, we got to turn the other cheek. We got to just hold hands and say kumbaya. That's actually not what Christianity is all about.
Right.
These people don't know what they're talking about. They're like, hey man, Jesus loved all neighbors. It's like, okay, you clearly haven't read the Bible, because also there's plenty on about in the Bible about foreigners, about how we should treat our borders,
Right.
and all this. So, they try to play both sides. At the end of the day, you just got to remember, if you're a Christian, we should put Christ first before everything, before even our country, before even our race. That doesn't mean that can't be a close second and third.
Yeah.
But, I'm Christ first and, American and white after that. So I'm not going to advocate for anything that goes against, Nick or Christ or anything like this, because all of us, should be always aligned and Christ first. And when you're not, you just kind of got to realize that, hey, maybe in the temporary, just like we're doing with the left right now, maybe we can share a goal. And maybe we can, like with like the left or the Muzzies or any of that,
Yeah.
hey, maybe we can work together short term in certain ways, but you are not one of us. I'm sorry, but I've lost followers for saying stuff like this, but if you're not a Christian, you're not really on my team.
Yeah. No, wholeheartedly. It's I say it all the time from Sam Hyde, I believe, if you can't say Christ is king, fuck you. It's like probably needs to be like the logo here. You to put on a gold plate with my car, honestly.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at too. And I think I'm kind of batting down the hatches on that a little bit. I kind of was a bit more charitable, I think, early on to some of that stuff too. But seeing a lot more, hearing a lot more from Nick, and thinking about it myself too. I'm right there with you. I think you can't really consider them. It's not to say castigate them as enemies, but it is to say like, we'll think about where we're putting resources, honestly, with some of these people. And but speaking of violence, two things I want to say on that. One, Arval kind of backpedaled. I don't know, many people haven't really caught this. And I don't even say much of a backpedal, but Arval put out like an 18-minute video. It's like 3 days ago. And I brought it up yesterday with Tom Foe. But he's like, for the first like 3, 4, 5 minutes, he is essentially telling his own audience, telling the people who follow him, like, hey, like, stop telling me to go commit revolution. Like, he's like, it's got to have to be incremental. And so I thought that was kind of crazy to see from Arval, because to me, it feels like all the people who support Arval are the ones who are like Casey Putsch, who are just like, which I thought was the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Like saying, well, time for revolution. It's like, yeah, and what, Casey, the Norwood 8 is going to lead us into battle? It's like, yeah, that's my Braveheart. Like, it's just such a joke. But beyond that, I guess to change topics here a little bit, because we're already about 40 minutes in. And speaking of violence too, Did you see what Beardson did to Matt Nuclear?
Oh my goodness, yeah. It was a shame we didn't get an actual debate, but I did watch the whole thing, and I mean, Beardson kind of went into it with the right attitude, as I would expect. Like I think he kind of knew it wasn't going to be a debate. It was going to be just like a shit show. Like the guy was just going to mute him left and right. That's why he wanted to do it on TikTok in his specific Discord server. Because he didn't want. I mean, the guy is just such a clown, and I was like, dude, if you're gonna be like a clown, like do better, honestly. Because bro starts off by bringing up Beardson's views. I'm like, dude, I'm in Beardson's stream right now. He's got 1,100 people.
Yeah,
you have like 20 people on YouTube and like 100 people on TikTok, and half of those TikTok and YouTube viewers are us. I saw. People like Jimbo had his YouTube up, and so did like people from Jimbo's chat.
Jimbo was spamming him the whole time.
Yeah, so it's like half the views were genuinely Groypers, and bro still had like, okay, sub 20 the whole, or 200 across two platforms. And TikTok, it's so easy to get them on like debates like that.
Right.
So to have like 20 on YouTube, 150 on TikTok, and then bring up Beardson's views, and then bro got cornered and he just kept doing the age thing. It's like Beardson said, it's like, if you're going to bring up my age, tell me when I fell off. Like,
right.
Doing it. And also, who even cares? Is this like a viewer competition, or is this who's right?
Yeah. Well, it's a common tactic. That was what the entirety of that stream was. I checked back in a little bit when I went on Kick late last night, and that's all he was doing. It's entirely an attack. It's a tactic. And what's wild about it was he has it on his topics list, like in this corner here, and it's the bottom one. And the question is, why is Zionism bad, or is Zionism bad? It was something like that. For 2 hours, no one even touches that question. It's about, he went from Beardson to relevancy to Catholic doctrine to, I mean, he bounced literally all over the place and kept trying to put it back on the other person. And to sit there and think like that's who the Daily Wire hired as like their emerging talent. Nick had a good point, which is like, yeah, it's nowhere near the Brett Cooper and Candace Owens, but that's super weak. Like that's extremely weak. This is like kind of like debate tactics you would see, I guess, probably from like Destiny or like a leftist who like really doesn't want to talk about what the subject is. And what a brutal moment too for him, because I'm kind of curious now, how long does this last? Like, is the Daily Wire going to keep funneling money into this kid despite him being what he is? And he even acknowledged it on the. Go ahead.
They're not paying him much because his paychecks were getting posted. Bro's not making much. So
really?
What did they just value the company at? And they're giving him friggin' pennies. So
I didn't see this. What was he getting paid?
I didn't see it, but Beardson saw it, and I was gonna look. I think it got posted on X or something, but Beardson was talking about it in his stream, so he saw it. And I think it got posted. Like I think a couple people posted on X, but I mean, they're not paying the kid much. They wouldn't even get him a studio. Like dude's streaming from his freaking basement in some terrible setup with that being hired by Daily Wire. It's like, you could say a lot of things about the Daily Wire. Obviously, I disagree with just about everything that they push.
Yeah.
But at least years ago, they were they were doing something. Like they were getting views and they were making money. Now it's just like, they're just
getting bailed out,
pissing money. And I mean, it's a shame for sure. But what are you even going to do? I mean, I guess they're just getting whatever they can get. I mean, they just, if you're willing to preach a pro-Zionist rhetoric right now, they'll probably take you in. So if there's anybody in here hurting for money, you want to go grift for 6 months. I mean, seriously, what did he do? He went on Jubilee, had a couple viral clips on TikTok with.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Jubilee. It was the Amanda Seals one, I believe. He was like it was a surrounded episode. It was like 20 black conservatives versus one black progressive or something like that. Or Amanda Seals versus whatever. And I guess he had a good moment on like reparations and all, but it's like, I mean, think about that. Like in the year of 2026, the winning moment for this black kid to go on the Daily Wire was because he told another black person, no, we're not doing reparations. It's like, that's just sad. For one, like that's just kind of sad.
House in. He's a house in.
Well, and there's talking about, you have prominent Democratic leaders, I wish I could remember her name, saying that the Democrats need to focus in on that. And here's what she said afterward. She said, because if the Democrats don't focus on this, then black people are going to get the idea that reparations are never coming. And that's the only reason black people participate in politics. I kid you not, from the words of Democratic Congress lady. And it's like, is that how these people think? It's like they're only even here causing our lives hell because they want our government to pay them money for something they never went through. It's just, it's magical. And this is where people get to that kind of that T&D level because it's so kind of insane. But I will ask this question because I see it right here. They say, Greg, where did you get your headphones?
Dude, I've had these for like 7 years. These are Astro A40s. Honestly, they're kind of heavy, dude. I would recommend the Astro.
They look heavy.
Yeah, I would get the Astro A10s. They're wireless. They work they're not quite as good as these, but they're like a notch below. They're like cheap. These are like 5 times the price and they're heavy as hell. I used to have A10s. I need to get some, honestly. I've been using these for a long time, but I swear, like sometimes it's just annoying on my head. So they are nice. Yeah. I like them, but they are heavy. So
yeah, I couldn't do heavy.
The A10s, to be honest. The Astros are nice, but yeah, get the 10s if you want a good pair headset.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, 100% I'm with you. And I'll just say on that, I'm waiting for my reparations because if you actually, I would actually say there's a better argument for white people to get reparations. That's another topic for another day. But there's a better argument for us, to be honest.
What's the elevator pitch for it?
I mean, just look at DEI. Look at everything that's happening now with. I mean, just at a microscope, it's like the person who killed Irina. If that dude was white, he'd have been locked away on his first arrest. Yeah. You got black people out there who are committing acts of violence, and they take like 20 times, and they get slaps on the wrist until they murder some white boy. So it's like, that if the roles were, people like to say, oh, he's only in prison because he's black. It's actually quite the exact opposite. These black people get off so incredibly easily, right? Every single time. Even 35 years for Carmelo. You stabbed a kid in the heart out of school. Like, you should be doing life in prison. I mean, personally, and this is something I wrestle with as a Catholic. I mean, I think you should get the death penalty, but in the very least, these people, to look at everything. Look, if you don't see that white people have it by far the worst right now in America, then you're just blind. You're just naive, or you just got your head in the sand. I mean, genuinely, when it comes to the legal system, when it comes to DEI, I mean, genuinely, it's easier to get into college if you're not white. It's easier to get a job if you're not white.
Right.
There's a genuine argument that our people are actually owed a substantial amount of money, not just from, the college realm there, the work realm, and then, the legal realm. How many of our people got stabbed by a black guy who got out of jail 37 times for a weekend? They get like a weekend. I mean, look at even beyond America. Look at the UK.
Yeah.
Like, look at the UK. These people are like specifically coming in as a foreigner, targeting white Christian girls. And it's stated, they're like, oh, don't make it a race thing. They made it a race thing. Yep. They're going out of their way to target white Christian girls.
Yeah, race and religion.
Rate. Exactly. And then you got they're getting literally letters, like warning letters. The cops are bringing them back. The hospital staff is saying, hey, don't say that the suspect was Muslim. That will be racist. So yeah, if anybody's getting reparations, it's going to be my people. Fuck out of here with that black reparations. I'll be waiting for my check.
Well, it's wild because like that's even just like, so then just like the biggest category. It's like, obviously that's the one that's like practical. It affects everybody, most people. And when it happens to you, you're just lucky if your life isn't over when it does. This crazy part about that is there's categories to it. And so like stuff that I pay attention to a lot is like the psychological element of it, which is like all of what you see, which is pushed in things like advertisement, Hollywood, video games, I mean, all over the place. And it is this kind of enforced, both in the pro sense and the negative sense of like white people are at the bottom of the totem pole, or you kind of get that classic dad trope, which has become this new thing, right? There's a term for it, but it's like, this fat, lazy, just piece of shit guy whose wife hates him and his kids hate him, and he's good for nothing. And then it's like you're always, and it's not even just the dads. I mean, that's just against males in general, but on the white element too, it's all the race mixing that's getting pushed, just constantly. It's an Allstate ad, it's a Geico ad, it's an ad for a grill. Right? It's like there's race mixing in every single one of these things. It always seems to come with this intentionality of like white men are lesser. It's like the kind of the message they're trying to send with it. And I would even say beyond that on the reparations thing, it's wild that blacks are calling for reparations for things that never happened to them, and white people dealing with this aren't even asking for reparations, just asking for it to stop. It's like, imagine that kind of change in dynamic. And I think the more that people kind of wake up and again, use that cliche, or at least, I don't even know if it's waking up. I think for a lot of people, they acknowledge it, but they try to excuse it away. I think for most people, when they see a black person lash out, and I hesitate to say most people, but for maybe the normies or liberals, they will rationalize it by saying, he doesn't have money, and he comes from a family that doesn't have money, or gives blame on the fatherless problem, which I do think does add into it. But for some of this, you do look at socioeconomic factors for some of these people, and it's like, actually, that guy did have a dad, and he had plenty of money, and so why is he stabbing a 4-year-old in a park? You're just like, so I think we're beginning to lose. They're beginning to lose ground on those kind of arguments, and I don't know, man. I really do kind of think like, what will a race conscious America look like? At least one, forgive me, at least one where white people are also conscious of it too.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, it's a serious problem, and you actually touched on a really important part there. It's like, we're actually the ones who are the victims. These people, like, none of the people asking about reparations none of them were a slave. Okay. Right. So right. I'm not going to give you money for something you didn't experience that I didn't even perpetrate on anybody. Somebody that has the same skin color as me did this to somebody who has the same skin color as you. Yeah, I don't care. And if you really want to if we had longer time here, we'd get into the other reasons too, which is like, hey, this was already happening. You should actually be on your knees thanking us because we were the ones who ended slavery.
Right.
We didn't start it, but we ended it. So you're welcome. Not only will I not give you $1, but I will say you're welcome, because it was the Europeans, it was the white people who actually put a stop to slavery. It was, who put you in slavery before we bought you? I'd say if you want to look into that, you maybe find who you should really be blaming, because it wasn't the Europeans who started slavery. Okay.
Well, exactly. What you have like the tribal kings, different kind of tribal leaders there, basically running the auctions, and then they're turning them over and selling them to a lot of Jews who would ship them across and overseas, who ran the slave trade for the most part. That again, all these things get lost into detail. Part of it because there's obviously a conscious effort to obfuscate the reality that like white people and Jews aren't the same. Most people don't even know that until like they kind of get it told directly to them, which I think for a lot of people they still like kind of don't really think anything about. But it is a huge element to a lot of this. But yeah, the race thing's not going away. I expect it to get actually a lot more probably heated here in the next couple of years too. And we're already seeing a return to some of this like DEI stuff. Like Byron Donalds, because he's not doing this debate with James Fishback, he's now literally wielding the race card. I don't know if you saw this or not, but he's on stage, and I think it was because he was being questioned and being pressured overall through the week about not showing up to a debate, not even with just Fishback, but I think he's also dodging one with Jay Collins now too, another runner in the race. And he's on stage like, don't tell me about marginalized black people, you never walked a day in and he's doing the whole black queen, black mother type shit. And it's like, I hope that that's like the final straw for people who were thinking they would vote for Byron Donalds. It's like, look at who he is. He is a skin suit who walked into the MAGA. He came in the final breath of the big tent movement where we said, yay, black, hates God, doesn't care. Everyone can be a conservative, because we really have no values. And, I would credit some of that to Charlie Kirk, but RIP to him. And you hope that it's like, they don't fall for it again. I am really rooting for James Fishback, but even the based, black conservatives, they all do it too. And so like, there is an element of this that I do get from the white first crowd, which is like their tribalism element is very strong. Like they won't back away from it. And so I think that implies we either have to address it for what it is, or white people have to respond in kind.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I do, I get it, and we should be. And I mean, Nick had a great, monologue about this. I think it was last week, just talking about, he's always talking about take your own side, but, he talked a lot about it with the Henry Nowak case. It's like, we really need to start doing, like, he touched on it a lot about how white people are always like, oh, well, we got to be honorable. We got to do this. It's like, sometimes you just got to kind of win. Sometimes you just got to be like, hey, I'm going to take my own side no matter what, even if it's a little ugly sometimes. So, like, I do get that. And I think that is true. Now, he's always at the same time saying we can't lose Christ. We have to always put Christ first. But at the same time, I think we have to, just to play by, black people take their own side, and these are things that I can give them credit for. Black people take their own side to an exhausting amount. So do the Jays. So it's like at a certain point, it's time to be like, hey, man, like, we got to do the same thing. I kind of talked about this the other day on the stream. It's like, look, I disavow, Chud was kind of a friend of mine. I'm not going to lie. He would come in the spaces sometimes. I would talk to him privately. Yeah. But I told him, like, you should do different content. This stuff is low. It's beneath you. It's low IQ. I disavow this type of, like, antagonization. Yeah. So, got to preface it with that first. I don't like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, if the roles were reversed, this Chud would have raised $2 million. They'd have let him use it in court. Yeah. But white people, they're like, oh yeah, whatever, honky, head to friggin' prison forever, stupid. And it's like, look, I get it. The content's not good. I told him to his face, like, the content is not what you should be doing. You have a big platform. You don't need to do this. But at the end of the day, it's like, we should actually take our own side. We should actually back our own guys. And that doesn't mean we need to be like some of these wignats, they take it to another level. And there's like all day, every day talking about Chud. I'm just saying, like, a happy medium would be cool. Like, we don't need to be every single time a white guy gets arrested, we're like, oh yeah, burn in prison forever, stupid. The black people aren't doing that. The Jews will freaking move them to Israel and slide them in the back room. It's like, at a certain point, we have to kind of be like, hey, like, especially in this case, it's like, look, I don't like what the guy was doing, but it looks to me like some fucking dude chimped out. In the end, Chud was kind of vindicated because he said, chimping out? He was chimping out. This guy, it looks so far like the guy was like stalking him. Apparently this guy is like has like a lengthy history, criminal history, violent history. And he stalked Chud down and freaking attacked him. So yeah, I carry, as somebody who carries, go ahead and fucking start trying to swing on me when I got this thing on me. I'm going to freaking warn you, which I'm sure he did, but I'm going to say, like, hey, like, you might want to fucking back up because I will blow your fucking shit off too. I tried to censor myself there for a second. I forgot the platform.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine, man. And I wouldn't hold it against you. I don't know what you can say,
but yeah, no, it's like, hey, if I'm legally carrying and you attack me, you might be meeting God, bro. Like, you don't want to do that. So.
And I think that they're saying now that they were like working together. It's like I saw not like Chud and guy, but I saw it was what's his name, Joshua Fox, I believe is the guy's name. I was seeing reports, and I wasn't able to confirm this. I think this is a grain of salt. But I saw that, like, apparently he had been in the court earlier that day and, like, had been in communications with not the judge, it was a sheriff, I believe, about Chud, which is kind of just crazy. So I'm curious if there would not be some kind of, even beyond the two tiers of justice, is there something even more nefarious going on here? And the $1 million bond is just literally fucking retarded. Like, let's just be honest about that. Like, that is literally insane.
And they're not letting him use this GoFundMe funds, but yet Carmelo used his funds and he stabbed his heart.
Plastic surgery for his mom's nose. Like, that's what they use theirs for.
Now, I don't know 100% that that's true. Is that 100% confirmed? I saw that.
I don't know if it's confirmed, but I'll push it until someone tells me it's not true.
Okay. I actually went into a little space. Well, not little. It was like a huge, like, BLM type space after, and like destroyed a bunch of these like super pro black people. And this guy waited my turn. and I got my chance and just like decimated them with the facts. It was hilarious. But
it's like, don't chimp out, but let me tell you this.
yeah, no, seriously, it was funny. There was actually one like black dude who was an admin who was like stopping them from chimping out. It was hilarious. But
that's awesome.
But yeah, no, it's the hypocrisy is insane. Like Carmelo stabs a kid in the heart over nothing at a school, and he's allowed to use his funds. They don't even use it all for legal reasons. He uses his funds. Chud defends himself against some dude chimping out. Kid doesn't even, the dude, not kid, doesn't even die. And they're like, $1 million bond, you can't use your funds. It's like, bro, like you said, the two-tiered justice system is insane. And that's why I go back to, where's my reparations?
Right.
Because we actually are the victims of this shit.
You look at, well, I even think of like, even like cases even prior to that, right? When you're looking at like Daniel Penny, and you have Daniel Penny, which is, the dude is like, I mean, that's where we are in society, which is like guys are literally seeing like literal crime happening like on the subways them, and they're like, I can do something about this, which I think is the right thing to do, and go to prison for the rest of my life or risk it. Or I can sit here and just watch as this woman gets sexually assaulted in front of a crowd of 40 people. And it's like, that's where we are right now. But it's only because it's generally white people getting their hands held behind their back by the government. And it's not even that their government's doing it all the time. It's that it's happened so often. It's like most guys now know. It's like, that's the risk I take now if I were to do anything, or if I step out of line. And it's emasculating too. Like in the most basic of senses, it's basically put at most guys into a position of, well, I guess I'll sit on my hands, like don't look at me, I'm just a white guy, like, oh, I like black people. You do what you can to like not get the system to come after you.
Yeah, I actually posted an edit about this exact topic the other day because, it's just like Nick had a great monologue it's just, and Daniel Penny, that case was in there. It's like you either like the way that we're and I forgot exactly. I don't want to like, Nick puts it so much more eloquently, but it's just like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like you either try to like do the right thing. I mean, I think Daniel Penny's a hero. I mean, yeah, like as a guy who's done jiu-jitsu for 13 years, could he have done the choke better? Yeah, the guy's not a fucking jiu-jitsu guy. Right. He's out there just a normal Joe trying to like do the right thing and protect somebody, protect an innocent guy from a fucking thug who's out there committing acts of violence all the time. And that why goes right back to what I was saying earlier. That guy had been arrested 1 million times for doing the same thing. They let him out 1 million times, and on the 1,000,001 time, he found out. Like that's what happens. And then Daniel Penny got his life ruined. Basically, I mean, yeah, he's one of the few people who actually got to get out. Like, thank God. But I mean, I'm sorry. Look at Derek Chauvin. Dude's still rotting in prison right now. And Trump, our justice team, they all know that he didn't do shit, but they know that if they let him out, the freaking cities will burn. They don't want the fallout that's going to happen if they release an innocent guy. Like, dude, George Floyd died from a fucking fentanyl overdose. It's in the autopsy. Everybody knows it, but they're scared to do anything because they know the aftermath. And so it's just like, perfect example. If you go out and you try to help somebody, like Daniel Penny, or if you're a cop and you try to take down the bad guy, like Derek Chauvin, you get thrown in jail. If you don't, and you don't protect yourself, you get stabbed in the neck. You get stabbed, and then the cops come and they freaking arrest you, and you bleed out. Henry Nowak could have been saved. Right. But the police were, we're going to put you in handcuffs. Just the way they positioned his body is probably why he bled out so quick. So it's like they didn't render first aid, and he could have been saved. And how many times is that happening? These are just the viral cases, dude. This shit is happening every day. So,
that's what was wild to me was like on the day of that, it was the Henry Nowak one, or Henry Nowak, however you say it. There was another story that came out of like Texas, and then I saw another one coming out of like Arizona, and they were all very similar. It was like young white guy killed doing this, young white guy killed doing this, and like those aren't even going to get any attention because the Henry Nowak one's already like in the top sphere, and it's like these are still someone's son, still someone's brother, someone's grandson, and they're just gone, and and that's just the way it is. It's kind of what we've gotten used to. But not to keep it not to keep it here, I want to change subjects again here, because we had a lot I wanted to get through. I'm going to kind of cut it at a knee, I think, here. But the billionaires cozying up to JD Vance and the JD Vance kind of 180 that's happening right now, what are your thoughts on that? And do you really think that JD Vance is going to have a chance in 2028, or do you even think he'll run? I guess what are your overall thoughts on that situation, especially with like Alex Jones now? Oh yeah, JD Vance, I like this guy.
I love Alex, but man, yeah, I don't even want to say anything bad about. I love Alex. It's just, I mean, I think he's just he tried. You know, he's a positive guy when it comes to these kind of things. He's an optimist. He doesn't want to work against what he thinks are allies, but it's just like, dude, come on, man. Like, I think JD will run, honestly, because you've even heard like rumblings that Marco Rubio is gonna like endorse him and basically, you know, back out of the race and get behind JD. And then you even got Tucker like can't even go 24 hours of saying, I'm going to leave the Republican Party. Oh, I'm also going to vote for JD. It's like, okay, man, like, bro, it's just a joke. But yeah, I mean, JD, it's so funny how, you know, the past couple of months he's been so MIA as the Iran war is happening. He doesn't make any statements. He's very careful to not want to get in front of a mic and have to take any bad publicity over all the, you know, fumblings that we're having out there in the Middle East right now. Yeah. But the absolute second it's time to take a victory lap, bum, you know, to the rescue, JD. It's like, okay, bro. But like the normies, the boomers, they eat this slop right up. They're like, oh, JD, did you see where he said something base? He really stuck it to Israel. It's like, bro, like if you actually believe that, honestly, I'm not even going to try to convince you otherwise. Like 5-6 years ago, I'd have been trying to convince those type of people. Nowadays, I'm like, dude, you're a lost cause, bro. You're not worth my time. Like you aren't gonna make it. If you're so quick to the absolute second, JD Vance is like, oh, we're gonna put Israel. I mean, he didn't in so many words. He's basically like trying to like kind of give them a little bit of like, you know, America runs the show. To like have a little soundbite for the MAGA boomers, like, and they're gonna eat that slop right up. If you're gonna buy that, we're not gonna waste our time and energy on you, bro. You are genuinely cattle. You are not ensouled.
Right? Yeah, Goy cattle. Yeah, I agree, and I just love the fact on that term itself, like Aspen's been like wielding like a sword. Like I feel like I see anything from Aspengold in like the last 2 weeks, it's about Goy or Goy cattle or Goy slop. It's like it's just flowing out of him like at all times. I think it's funny to me, and I appreciate him being in the fight. But no, I wanted to bring up this because this is kind of what's been getting pushed. It was shared by Nick earlier today. It's been pushed by a few different people. There's a better post actually from Laundry Queen I wanted to go to here too. But this is just showing you just here in like this change of tune. With all of these billionaires, if you notice their names as well, you might also notice that they're pretty much all Jewish. And what's wild about this is you have Paul Singer and Miriam Adelson on this side of the aisle now, kind of going back and forth because their cameras are blocking it. But Adelson was basically, as far as we had understood the framing here leading up to what was happening, it was Adelson was in Rubio's corner and had been, and this is actually part of the play from Rubio, which was to be basically the brown noser. Next to Trump, doing what I guess JD Vance couldn't, and really kind of being inside of that wing there. Much has kind of been seen of that too when they were separating during the Iran war. You know, JD Vance, Scott Bessent, Tulsi Gabbard being told to stay in the Situation Room at D.C., while Rubio and Hegseth and some of the more pro-Israel guys in the administration were being pulled down to Mar-a-Lago in Florida. But there's a more detailed one from Laundry Queen I wanted to show you guys here for a second. Because there's a crazy ass name at the bottom of here you guys won't believe, who's a part of the Rockbridge Network, for those who've been paying attention to the coverage of that. But we have Miriam Adelson here, Vance has developed a relationship with, supposedly that the vice president spent New Year's Eve with Adelson at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. You have Sergey Brin, who's less concern, but still a big dog in here. And apparently he gave about $500,000 to the Federal Election Committee. Joe Lonsdale, who most of you might remember from just a couple, was it a week ago? when he basically commenced all of the Jews to come out of the woodwork to attack the one kid who said, I don't want to work for Jews, basically destroyed his life. It was Austin Franco who told Gabe Einhorn, I don't want to work for you. I've had bad experiences in the past. And they said, you know what? We'll give you one more on your way out, which is just kind of crazy. Elon Musk and also Joe Lonsdale, part of the PayPal mafia. Same with Elon Musk, same with Peter Thiel. But you can find this list for yourself. There's many people on here. The crazy part about this is what I wanted to cover here at the bottom. You know, for those who've been following the channel, I've been covering the Rockbridge Network pretty, not super in depth, but I've been making a lot of mention of it because I don't think many people know about it. But what you have here is that apparently Kid Rock, Jake Paul, like Jake effing Paul of all people, is apparently attending the Rockbridge Network. And you have Dina McCormick, who's from Facebook, Meta, and then Chris Buskirk. And so what we're seeing is it looks like that in rather short order, the Rockbridge Network is making a lot of moves. And this, to me, I think it's a kind of a signal ahead of time that they're probably going to full send the JD Vance in 2028. So I think it's what we're going to be up against the closer we get to it. But man, Jake Paul, what are your thoughts? First of all, what are your thoughts about Jake Paul? But secondary to that, what was your thoughts when you saw when he got wheeled out during the rally against Thomas Massey? Was that what it was for? Did you do you remember that? That was just insane.
Yeah. He's just a clown, man. As somebody who's like, I'm into combat sports. I get it. It's kind of goyim. That's my guilty pleasure. I do like MMA. So I see him all the time in the community. Dude's just an absolute clown, bro. I mean, you can't take that guy serious at all. They're wheeling him out. They're getting the Disney guy out there whose new gig is like beating up 50-year-olds. They're wheeling him out for some positive promo. That just, my take on it is that's how desperate they are for like the young, trying to get like, hey, look, we got the young TikTok guy, the Disney guy. It's like, dude, that's how out of touch these boomers are, is they think Jake Paul is like their key. Like, oh man, he's gonna get us so many young votes.
Yeah,
like, okay.
Everybody loves this guy. It's like, I don't know a single guy who I know who likes him, actually. No. And actually, I take that back. I went to college with people who went to the same high school as him. So I do know a couple people who actually like him just because they were around him and they root for him. But beyond that, I think the general consensus is like, this guy effing sucks. Like, so yeah, they're wielding him around here. I am more concerned though overall with just seeing him being attached to the Rockbridge Network, because those are more names than we've been getting used to seeing. And how familiar are you with the Rockbridge Network?
I mean, I'm not an expert, but it can be pretty easy. Look, at the end of the day, it's like with a lot of these things, you don't really need to be an expert to see what's going on here. It's like, oh, wow, this shocking names here. How could I ever have thought that these people would be aligned? It's like, it's business as usual with these people, man. They're doing what they do. And at the end of the day, it's just like they got a lot of money. They got a lot of influence. And all we can really do is just try to do our little 0.0001%. And, because it is an uphill battle, man. These people have endless supply of money. They have an endless supply of political capital. So, a lot of people are like, oh, man, they're losing. It's over for them. It's like, I will say this. I think by 2032, it's over. It's over for them. Yeah. I genuinely do believe that, because I see somebody in your chats talking about a Gen Alpha. And I just agree wholeheartedly. It's like, the Zoomers for one thing, but then like, let alone the new generation, like the people who are going to be able to vote for the first time, in 28. But then especially if we don't have a big major victory, if we don't get the dark horse in 28, I think by 32, it's a wrap. So obviously we have some, we have some genuine opposition here. I mean, JD's whole network, it's as crooked as it gets. And that's why it is going to be Never Vance forever. I don't give a shit if he slapped Netanyahu in the face. I don't care if he spit on the wall. Nothing on earth to get me to vote for this guy or say he's based. First of all, it's just like, take a step back and just look. Like, aside from all that, you don't even have to be in the know. Who is his wife? Okay, he is never going to be aligned with us.
Yeah.
He is married to a brown foreigner who worships a cow. He is never going to be on our side. Okay. Yeah. He is never going to be about mass immigration. His family would be against his own policy. He's never going to go against his own wife and kids. His son's name is Vivek. So if you're white and based, like that's the reason I like focus on that part rather than because some of these people are never going to care enough to look at the technical aspects. It's like, okay, so you got to meet them at like something their 80 IQ brain can get to, something their 70 IQ brain can get to. His son's name is Vivek. He's not going to give you a total Aryan victory, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to grab you by the ears. If you've seen Nightcrawler, I want to grab you by the ears and scream in your face, I'm not fucking interested. It's like, dude, his son's name is Vivek. He is not. You get these people, and the funny thing is, we talked about them. You get these like pro-white, Aryan, total Aryan victory, TND wignats that are like, oh, bro, like I don't even care. Fuck it, Palantir is fine by me if they give us TND. It's like, bro, first of all, those are not white people.
Yeah, right.
Second of all, his son's name is Vivek. He's married to a brown Hindu. He hates you. He wants you dead. He grew a beard and now all of a sudden he pretends to be based. He is not based. This guy was saying, oh, Trump's Hitler. Trump makes people think the people I care about very worried. It's like, dude, this guy was like a far left clown like years ago and just a couple of years ago. And now he's like LARPing as some right-wing trad based like pro-white guy. It's like, bro, you have a brown family. I'm sorry. I know we were just talking about it. I'm Christian first. Yeah. But if we're going to be real here, you have a brown family. You are married to a Hindu.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, let's even get off the brown thing. If you're married to a freaking Hindu, you are not a real Catholic, let alone the things he said about the Pope, all the other things. I'm sorry, but like, I would look JD square in his eyes and say, do you believe your wife is going to hell? Let me.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's so cringe. Like how the relationship is. Like it was rough when they had that video. It was posted like 2 days ago, of her being like, I don't feel the urge to think about my religion. I grew up in a stable Hindu household, and he's just sitting there like half gay smirking into the camera, and it's like, dude, your wife is literally emasculating you right here. Like I'd rather be shot. I mean that wholeheartedly. I'd rather be shot than be on camera to the tune of millions of people watching my wife sit there and emasculate me. I don't know if there's a worse fate, honestly, than getting your reputation destroyed like that. Because how do you recover? And even
you see the one after that,
where he patted her on the leg.
I quoted it today. I'm like, brother, she looked disgusted.
Did you see that she flinched?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, what was that about?
I don't know. Honestly, I was like, that might be a W. I'm like,
real.
Like, maybe I've been too hard on this guy.
That's so real. But I mean, even if you were to remove the race element of it too, I mean, I just look at it from the sense of like, here's a guy who can't even stand up to his own wife, or even not even stand up to it. That's not even the right framing. Here's a guy who like clearly didn't value his relationship with God to the degree it needed to be, to also then bring in his wife into that fold. Because here's the thing too, like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, I would never marry a woman who like was not also white and Christian. Like, I think that should be, I think that should honestly be the standard. So here's a guy who's in a situation here where if he did become Catholic after the marriage, brother, you better be doing everything in your power to go, honey, you're worshiping a demon. You know, like, honey, you're worshiping, because then what's the point? Like, what is your marriage about? What covenant was it to? Like, and then again, it's just like JD. Everything is just this kind of facade. It is, JD is whoever Tucker Carlson says he is, or Peter Thiel says he is. It's like, he's always changing. He's always kind of maneuvering. He's always propped up. And I can't, it honestly does send me to the moon when I see people like John Doyle and all these other guys like pushing for him and saying, no, JD Vance is based. And then too, like, you name your son Vivek, but also then they have this weird relationship to Vivek Ramaswamy. Like, they both were in school together and they're both coming out of Ohio. They're pushing for Ohio. It's like, is there something weird going on there? You know, maybe Usha is actually Vivek's wife and JD is just kind of like a stand-in or something. Like, I don't know. It just feels extremely weird. But even this photo I'll put up on screen real quick. Look how fat and disgusting he is. Like, how Miriam Adelson's literally mogging him. Both women in this photo are mogging him. It's actually kind of
He's a
insane.
total fucking chud, bro. It's disgusting.
Yeah, the beard didn't help. He's got to lose more weight, dude. Like, and it's
No,
wild.
honestly, I gotta say the beard does help, dude. Have you seen him before the beard? He looks like a chud now without the beard. He's got the beard for a reason, believe me. He has a terrible jawline. He is a complete chud, bro.
Well, it reminds me of Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds carries a bunch of like weight, like underneath his face, like on his chin, where it makes him look like he's got like a fat head. Same with JD Vance. There, you got to have the beard to be able to cover it up, or you're just gonna get mocked.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's kind of a new topic here too. I wanted to get your thoughts on the look maxing. Where are you at with that? What do you think of clavicular? Do you push for looks maxing? Is it looks maxing or die? Like where are we at with this?
I mean, look, I can't counter signal Clav. I don't know if you know this, but I'm the only Groyper that Clav follows. So,
Really?
Me and Clav are basically best friends.
That's awesome.
It's funny. Back in like January, I randomly just get a DM that says "sup" from Clav, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "This? What? Is this a real Clav?" And I click it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, he followed me." So I can't counter signal my best friend. No, I'm kidding. But I think a lot of it is look, the big thing is you just gotta lean. You just gotta be lean. Lean is law, as Nick says. You just gotta lean max. I think that's like the big thing, dude. I think so much of the looks maxing comes down to like leaning out, dude.
Oh, yeah.
You take like some of the ugliest people and you just have them lean out, they will look so much better. I think that's the white pill, dude. People will think that's a black pill. That the white pill is you're not as ugly as you think you are. You're just fat.
Right.
So
just stop putting mouth in your face. Like you'd be good.
Put the fork down. Okay. If you do that, I mean, outside of that, am I about like bone smashing, all that? Look, I think the reality is, I think Clav kind of leaned into some of that. I think some of it is like he knows is like a little ridiculous, but he leans into it because it's like it's his gimmick, it's his bit. But I mean, hit the gym, put the goy slop down. Listen, we all like our little bit of goy slop here and there, but overall, man, that term is not even funny anymore. I should stop saying it, but it's been absolutely ruined by the goyim ruin everything. But
very true. That is very true.
But anyways,
what about mewing?
I was laughing at that as you said it, but listen, I don't know about the mewing, but you gotta lean out. I think the biggest part of that is like so many people overthink it, all these crazy diets. Dude, just put the fork down, eat less, do some working out, lift some weights if you want to. I mean, I like to lift. I'm into it, but I think the most important part is just being lean. If you lean out, dude, you could be the ugliest chud, bro. You will ascend. So some of the other stuff, maybe not. I personally am not about taking. I'll tell you the one. This is we're gonna put some people hip here. All right.
Okay.
If you don't want to get on the peptides and all that, listen. I was gonna pull out my bottle right now, but I don't see it. One thing I will advocate for, and my chat's about to be like, "Oh, brother, here he goes."
Methylene blue.
If you are a man, get on the Cialis. All right. I know what you're thinking. Oh, what do you mean? My hog works. Listen, it's not about that. Do you want to be more jacked? Do you want to be healthier? Do you want to live longer? It's like something like a 44% cause mortality is down with people that are on Cialis. Brother, creatine and Cialis are the only things that I take. All right.
Interesting.
You know how many people I've sold this? Like so many people have gotten into the Cialis from being around me.
Are there like side effects to it?
Dude, there's not, bro. If you look into it, it's like that's how I am. I don't even take Tylenol. I don't even take cold medicine. My chat is like shilling for big Cialis.
That's funny.
I don't take any medicine, but when people started telling me about it, I was like, nah, there's gotta be some side effects. Then I look into it and it's like, dude, it literally is like raises your testosterone, lowers your estrogen, cause mortality down 44%. You're like, you get a better pump because your blood's circulating better, so you get more jacked. Obviously,
I'm gonna have to do this.
Hog maxing, all right? But
I'm gonna have to do this. Listen, so My wife already hates that. Like, so I actually already do this. Like somebody said, it's a power move to be benching while you're bricked up. I only go to the gym when bricked up. Like I make everyone uncomfortable so they don't want to be around me. It's like actually it's a hack. My wife hates it because I only wear gray sweatpants to the gym too. That's another story. I'm gonna have to try this. Like I'm gonna have to actually try this. Like I'm very interested in like what that would be like. Bro. Can I get like a cheap gas station pill? It's like a T-move. See how I can try.
It's not about the like everybody thinks that, what about like Viagra or like these gas station ones? No, those do have side effects. But Cialis not only doesn't have, like, the worst side effects are like a sniffly nose or something like that. But like genuinely, dude, let me
Coke nose.
Let me find real quick while we're talking. I was trying not to do this, but you know what?
We're shilling for Cialis.
Pilling the masses right now. Let me
That's funny.
Sign in.
Yeah, send me a link.
No, I'm gonna pull up this post because somebody hit me up. They found my Cody account. They're like, "You're Greg," and I had posted like a gym picture, and they're like, "What's your stack?" And I'm like, Cialis and creatine, bro. So increases testosterone, lowers estrogen, helps with fat loss, more androgen receptors in your muscle cells, lowers estrogen receptor A, improved heart health, improved cognition, lowers cause mortality 44%, increases the amount of mitochondria you have, promotes bone cell survival, lowers inflammation, that's big for a guy all beat up like me, lowers stroke risk by 34%, and it's anti-cancerous. All right? Go, if you're a man and you're not on Cialis, you hate yourself. Go get yourself.
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's a little bit overpricey on hims.com, but at least you can get a prescription like in like 30 minutes. And then you can take that prescription from them and get it for like a fraction of the price anywhere. Or you can just make an appointment with your doctor. But I wanted to once I got Cialis filled, I was like, I'm getting this right now. And I got it like 2 days later. Dude, the pumps in the gym hit different.
So wait, do I need to be prescribed by a doctor to get it?
You can get it on like hims.com. You're going to go on there. You're going to say, something's off on my erections. You're just going to tell, you're going to have to sell it a little bit. No, it's super easy. You literally do like a questionnaire with an AI and you're like, my hog is just not operating full capacity. And then 30 minutes later, they're like, here's your prescription. And then in 2 days, you get your the limitless pill does exist. It's called Cialis. All right.
I just watched that movie the other day. That's funny.
Movie. It's an underrated movie, but yeah. I didn't think I'd be spending 5-10 minutes talking about Cialis on here. But I'm just saying.
Listen, no, I'm inspired.
I had like 30 friends get it. Not one has said anything but good things.
This is like my favorite part of the conversation. Actually, it's like when we get to like the insider tips here. Literally tips. No, I'm down with it.
How do we segue off this? So, anyways, the UK stabbing. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm all for it.
He's like, we're gonna stop the show a little early. Hims.com.
Yeah, right. Let me go over there right now. Actually,
I promise I am not being paid by these. Honestly, they owe me a bag. They owe me a bag, bro.
How often are you? How often are you pushing it every day? Is this a daily show now? We were doing
the spaces a lot there for a minute. There was like a segment of the space every day where I was like, all right, who's on there? Who's popping their Cialis? And it was too funny. But, I have not made $1 from any medication, including Cialis. I just, listen, somebody put me hip. Yeah. I'm so sketched out about taking any medicine that I like went down the rabbit hole looking into it. And then I'm
the same way.
Holy shit.
How long have you been on it?
A little bit like 2 months, something like that.
Dang.
Yeah.
2 months and you're like selling it like this? Okay.
Dude, it's goated, bro. Like,
the last time somebody put me hip to something, my liver about shut down.
Look into it. Do all your research and look into it yourself. But I'm telling you, it's actually kind of the opposite. Like, it really does. I mean, you see it, 44% cause mortality. That means like all death. Like, it's like insane. Like, you are genuinely going to be healthier.
I mean, I'm sold here. It's just been a minute since I've done it, but I'm getting more and more back into the gym, which it's just kind of sad to even say for myself too. But I'm sure you're probably in the same vein, battling between doing work and stuff too. But I used to be going like 6 days a week, like back at my peak. I used to be a personal trainer actually. So I was there all the time. And even if it wasn't me working out, I'm training other people. I just got tired of being everybody's therapist. That's why I quit doing personal training actually.
Yeah.
But I would definitely be interested in doing this. Yeah. So, but we can't segue. We can't segue away from this.
Yeah. I was reading your chat. So hilarious. Don't let Greg stand up.
Yeah, that one was funny. I don't know. Could you? Would you just take the camera out?
Oh yeah, dude, that's the running joke, dude. And I just upped my dosage. So like my girl's like, oh, Brent, all my chats like we gotta say a prayer for Emily, because I'm like, bro, after like a couple months, I'm like, dude, because I was taking like the lowest amount, but then I've tried like a couple, and I'm like, holy shit, like the gym I'm not gonna lie, like the jokes aside, that's the biggest thing for me. Is like even if there wasn't all these pros health wise, it's like if I could just take this safely and literally get better pumps in the gym, dude, I started seeing like striations I've never seen in my entire life.
Really?
Because
you take pre-workout with it too?
Yeah, and well, I usually take it like 30 minutes before I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, I'm just like in there, like it's like I took a pre-workout, bro. But it's like, you're more vascular. So I'm just like, bro, I'm getting these shoulder striations I haven't seen in my entire life. I'm like, yeah, I'm upping this to 10 millis.
That's funny.
Anyways,
they fact check you at the doctor's office. They're like, what did you asking for? Cialis? Let me see a picture of your wife. You're like, fuck. They know it's not true. They're like, hand me a picture of your wife. I want to check this out, actually.
No, you just
see if it doesn't work.
My shit don't work, big dog.
Yeah. You got to come with a sob story. But no, I guess we were talking about JD Vance and Anusha. But I guess really, moving away from that, we did a couple other ones. Tucker Carlson. Where are you at with Tucker Carlson? I know he's kind of connected to all of this too. Do you think he's going to try to run for VP? Do you think he will be the VP for JD Vance?
Dude, the sad thing is, in this world, is he really probably could if he wanted to, just because, like, I mean, and that was like something we had to always be accepted about after Trump is like, we're probably going to get more type of weird situations like this where like, people with a big name and some money can get involved pretty quickly. I mean, yeah, like, look, I don't think it's like, sometimes Tucker says some things that I like. Sometimes, I'll give credit where it's due. Like he had a couple months there where he was like, like even Nick was giving him some credit and, sometimes he can be on, but like, overall, obviously, like I just have my suspicions about him. It's just like, even just like, looking at the most recent thing, it's like, oh, I'm leaving the right wing. And then like literally 18 hours later, it's like, oh, but I'm also voting for JD, like the right wing candidate. It's like, okay, so what are you actually doing? You're just talking. Like you don't actually believe anything you say. You'll just say whatever. And, he's kind of like the white version of Sneeko. It's like they're both just LLMs.
That's funny.
Bro. They don't actually have a general take. It's just like whatever the mass is going with, whatever like the next big thing is to get behind, that's what they're both going to do.
Yeah, so, whatever has the best chance of going viral that day. It's like, let's push for that.
Whatever they think their community will support the most. So now it's like, oh, now everybody's hating on Trump and the Republicans. So I got to do the same thing, but not enough to not back my boy. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I don't support Tucker being in politics because I don't trust the guy. And, I think sometimes people like that can be almost just as bad, if not worse, than like our actual enemies, because you'll get a percentage of people that are like aligned with us, maybe not dedicated Groypers, but people right outside of that are like, that are going to fall under the spell. They're going to be like, did you see where Tucker said this base shit? Or, he's on our side, man. And I mean, I get it in my replies all the time, dude. I'll post something about, 2028 Dark Horse and you get people like Massey Tucker. It's like, all right, bro, like you're not going to make it, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're just cooked, bro. You're cooked, bro.
Yeah. Like there is some stuff that he does that I find like cringe. But the one thing that really did, I found to be impressive because I thought the soundtrack effects were pretty good, but he was copying Nick clearly. It was like that 30-second like hype video he made of himself or his team made of him.
Like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah. I was like, this actually kind of bangs. I'm like, this actually goes pretty hard.
I mean, look, the guy's got a team there. He's not a dumb guy. And obviously he's like, oh, this is what's hitting right now with the young guys. Let me do the Nick thing. It was like so, like you said, clearly like Nick inspired. Yeah. It was like literally cut Tucker out, put Nick in, and it would fit just perfectly.
Exactly. You wouldn't notice a difference at all. But one of the other questions I had for you, I guess going back to, yourself, who would you probably say is like the closest person or most prominent, Groyper, you're probably closest to in the space?
Definitely Hoplite. I don't know how familiar you are with Hoplite, but
not much actually.
Like my boy. What'd you say?
Not much actually. He's one of the few that I actually got a chance to talk to or I think interact with like at all.
Yeah, dude, he's a really cool guy. He's been around for a long time. He does a lot of things for Nick behind the scenes. He's done a lot already. Genuinely has been like a huge part of AFPAC and Nick's organization just in general. Hop has not only done a ton of good work behind the scenes, but even like out, on the show, you're always seeing him showing love. He's always like helping kind of make sure everybody's on their shit. They're not counter signaling Nick. They're not doing like dumb shit. Yeah. And he's also just a really good dude, man. Like when I was going through all the like beef shit, like people are like, like the people who like can't hate me, whatever, they like lump him into it sometimes because that's like my boy. But the thing is like, dude, I'm loyal to a fault. Like, that's just how I am. And if you show me, like, I've been, like, betrayed so many times, like, throughout my life, like a lot of young men, especially if you have views like us. Right. So if you show me, like, genuine loyalty, I'm going to ride for you forever, bro. So, like, when it was not advantageous for him being so close to Nick and, like, his circle the fallout with me was happening with a lot of these, like, people, and a lot of this shit's been squashed now, and it's all love. I'm a forgiving guy, but a month, like in the middle of all that, dude, Hop was like out of like the OGs, the one that was like, nah, fuck that. Like his X handle is I'm Hoplite for the guys asking in the chat. He's had like 30 accounts get banned. Like Elon himself banned Hoplite. Like he actually is familiar with Hoplite, and Hop played a big part behind the scenes of like helping Nick and a lot of Groypers get back on X. And dude, he's got a massive pull. He's done a lot for our community, dude. And like I said, he's just a loyal ass guy. And even when he got nothing out of it, he went out of his way to look out and to like, stand up to some of these people who were trying to slander me, make up lies. He was like, yeah, that's not true. Yeah. Like, Greg, Cody is a real one, whatever. That's
how I feel like too.
What'd you say?
Well, that's how I feel too. Like I do kind of sense this from some people. I'm not going to name names, but I do kind of sense it from some people that it is like they are a part of it because they're trying to get something from it. They're trying to self-aggrandize themselves, build their own profile, kind of leech off the movement, if you will. But like Nick said it the best, and again, like what you said earlier, says it so eloquent. Like I do this because. Not because it's like I want to. Like if I wanted to do like movie reviews and stuff, like I would be much better served doing voice acting and things like that. But
you should do that,
right? People tell me all the time. But for me, it's like no, I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do. Like it is like what we should be doing, and like I don't even like to me, it's like the only thing that even gives me purpose. To be honest with you, like everything else is kind of gray and goy slop, if you will. And so I don't really vibe with it. I don't even get excited by, NFL Sunday football games anymore, which is kind of sad to say because I used to be a big sports head. But once kind of the truth kind of gets revealed, you're kind of like, what even really is the point of any of this? And for one, it's like the movement, obviously, and for our political system, but also too, like, really nothing else matters beyond Jesus Christ. I think of like Ecclesiastes all the time, when Solomon's talking there at the end of his life, but he's writing about how like everything's vanity. And it is. I mean, it's like, he's talking about like, what's the point of having, you've bought 4,000 acres and then you die. And then what happens when the guy who takes over your field wants to like, turn it into a pigsty or whatever? It's like, it's just over. There's nothing you can do. It's so limited. But it's good to hear about Hoplite. I literally just put him on my collab list. I'll plan to reach out to him, see if I can get a hold of him.
Yeah, no, he'd be a good collab. He's been around for a long time. He's super involved, and he's also just like funny. He's super good guy. Another one I would say a good collab to do would be Mr. White. Mr. White AF is his at. Especially if you want to talk about like Christianity. He is like super well educated. I mean, like somebody that I bring in my spaces as a co-host all the time to like talk about people that are converting to Catholicism or something like that. He's definitely someone that I definitely endorse to speak on the Bible, speak on Catholicism. He's super just well versed there. I mean, and everything. He's been around for a while too, but that's like his strength. Like, I mean, he's borderline theologian in my eyes. So, and he's also a great debater. So, when people try to come in, these like pagans, these wignats, he definitely puts them in their place. Those are two of some of my favorites. I've made a lot of, we've talked a little bit about the negative side of X and some of the community, but I will say I've made a ton of good friends. Yeah. People that genuinely, bro, if they ever needed a place to stay, I'd be like, dude, I got my guest room right here. Yeah. It's all you. There's a handful of guys, more than a handful, that I would happily give a place to stay if they needed it. So a ton of good friends, and they're definitely two, but there's many. I almost hate like naming some. I mean, they're up there at the top of the list, but I could go on and on. I've made some really good friends on here. A lot of good, man. The Groypers, like, they get a bad rep because we're edgy. We like to make jokes. We like to do some trolling. But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of good people, especially the real Groypers. Like, and what I say by that is, like, they're not in it for any reason other than we just have a shared love for Nick and his message. We're truly Christians. And that is not to say, like, some people get it twisted when they hear something like that, and they think that means like, oh, we never mess up. Like people will try to come at me for this when I preach a Christian message. They're like, oh, well, what about this? You had premarital sex, or you race mixed, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, man. Like, I've done my share of sinning. I'm 31 years old. I've done plenty of sinning. And that's, there was a time where I got away from the church. I was in a dark place. I was doing all kinds of dumb shit. And that's why I can speak like I can, because it's never from a place of like, oh, I'm this perfect Christian. It's actually the opposite. It's like, I'm a piece of shit sinner, and like, I want to be better. And so,
Well, I think of that meme that out. And so, Pine Sap's somebody that's been really, really awesome. And, same with you. I think if anybody, I probably, he supported me actually in a really bad spot, and he returned the favor because I had him on. I think it was like maybe a week after he had the Jubilee thing, and he like got fired from his job. It was like kind of a bad moment for him, but he's another great guy, and but as you were talking there too, you made mention of that. I'm like, yeah, everybody, we've all race mixed before, we've all dipped into the chocolate.
Careful, your chat's gonna be like, not all of us, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? They'll always come with that, and part of it is like there's jokes to this too. But no, I've had very similar experiences too. Like many guys in this space that are great, and it's been humbling. Like, for example, with like Toy Groyper, I'm pretty sure it's Toy Groyper, and if it's a stolen valor, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure it's Toy Groyper who like put me on to you, and I think sent vice versa. I think he was in your chat.
Yeah, he
reaching
put me
out
on to you. Yeah,
and it was just like, to me, that's just like that's humbling, because it's other guys saying like, no, like I really like these guys. You should talk to each other, and so it's like that kind of organic word of mouth that you go, okay, there is like a positive. There's community here. There's like what's the word? You want to say family, but it's not Fast and Furious. But it's like there is some camaraderie here. Like we all recognize.
I was just
like,
about to say camaraderie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and honestly, like, just because you said it, Pine Sap, dude's such a W, bro. And that's, if you want to see a good way to see who are like the real Groypers, and I'm sorry, and some people might like, I'm all about jokes. We just said we're like do a bit of trolling. Yep. But you see if you want to see like who to kind of steer clear from, look at the people who are like A-Log and Pine Sap, like constantly talking shit. That's how you know, like, they might be adjacents, but they're not like real Groyper. But dude, like, listen, nobody's perfect. But Pine is a good dude. Actually, like it's funny you say that. For one, kind of some similarities between him and Mr. White, because I would say Pine Sap is genuinely like borderline theologian.
Right. I was going to say the same thing.
And I let him just rant for like 2.5 hours on Catholicism, and I just sat there with my mic muted and was just learning.
Right.
Man, like,
This is a lesson class. Sit down.
He is a smart guy, especially on the Bible, Christianity, Catholicism. But such a genuine dude. Like when I was first getting, my account grew like 10K in like a week back like a year ago or like 9 months ago or something.
Yeah.
And Pine was like the first guy. That was actually he was like the first guy, like prominent guy to come out and be like, nah, fuck that. I know Greg. Like he actually knew my personal account, and he was like, Greg's a good dude. Like Greg's not, because they were like, oh, his account grew so fast, he must be a Fed.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh, you got Fed accusations
for a while, bro. Like I just didn't have a Twitter. I had a Twitter, but I didn't have a Groyper Twitter. I kind of tried to lay low.
Yeah.
But it's like Pine knew me, and we had DM'd some before I was like an open Groyper. And so he came out and was like, fuck that, Greg or Cody is a good dude. Like, and like he had no reason to do that. At the time, like he didn't benefit anything to do something like that. He was just a good dude. So he just like, when you see people like talking shit about him, it's like, that's how you know that like some of these people, man, it's like they align with us just so much as they also like to troll and they also like to have a good time, but they're not really like Groypers, man, because they're not Christians. That's why it goes back to that message earlier. Like you kind of have to be a Christian. Yeah. Like, and that doesn't mean just throwing Christ as King in your bio. That means like genuinely going to mass. And that doesn't mean you can't ever sin. Everybody's like, I'm the first one. I never LARPed like some perfect Christian. In fact, one of the biggest criticism on me that I'll admit or I'll accept is like I was too open. Like when I first kind of got bigger, I appreciate the follows over there, guys, and the subs. But make sure y'all are subbed up. I put the link in the chat. Make sure y'all go over to Atlas and give him a sub on YouTube. But
I appreciate that.
Of course. But I, if anything, was too open. Like I was like, yeah, I've raised mix. Yeah, I've done drugs. Yeah, I've done all this dumb shit. Yeah, I could have just lied. The people were like, hey, bro, you can lie on the internet, right? Like, but
true.
So I've never LARPed as some perfect Christian. But at the end of the day, like if you're just trying to be if you're trying to be better and you're putting Christ first, that's what really matters. Like the people who, I mean, not to get like too in the weeds here, but like, they're the people that Jesus were actually showed anger towards weren't the sinners. It was the people who thought that they were above sin.
Right.
So, people will always try to come at me. And it's like, dude, if I use my platform to push Christianity and push Christ, then, he's moral fagging. He's pretending he's this perfect Christian. If I don't, then I'm not a real Christian. And it's kind of always like that. I put my Kick bio or Kick link into my bio and they're like, oh, he's using his Groyper shit to push his movement. But when I had Nick stream in the bio, they were saying I was acting like I worked for Nick.
Yeah.
So you can't win.
Right.
You can't win with some of these people. You just got to be yourself. And, as long as you're, putting Christ first, you're sticking to, if you're a Groyper then you're sticking to Nick's message, then that's all you can really do, man, because some of these people are going to hate. But you got good people out there like Hop, like Mr. White, like Pine Sap, like Toy. And, for each little group of, ankle biters, you're going to have 10x the supporters, the love. So overall, man, I love the community. I love a lot of the people I've met on here. And, I consider a lot of these people genuinely friends.
No, same. Exactly. It's like, it's kind of wild because I was in politics for a while before that, actually. Before I kind of made the full, I even hate to say transition because it sounds so gay. Before like I became a Groyper, I was basically like more basic, like tier 1, like Republican, like, or like maybe even more so libertarian. I called myself a recovering libertarian for a long time. And you're right, like there's nothing that like that's unifying in that, really. And I was in that space for, I would imagine, at least 4 or 5 years or so, and then it was like it really didn't go anywhere. It didn't. There's no kind of like strong message to it. I always felt myself like arguing with everyone else too. And then it turned out like that's kind of what ended up happening. I ended up like really getting heated with my original co-host who I had, and that ended up pretty poorly. But the camaraderie on this side of the aisle, like I wouldn't trade it for the world. And like you say too, like there seems to be like some of these guys, and they're new, and maybe they get excited, maybe they just don't know what's going on. But the message of like lurk more like really is like, it is a message. This isn't like a joke or anything. It's not like, it's a legitimate message. Like if you just got here, it is like almost a command. It's like before you say a word, before you tweet anything, before you even put Groyper in bio, lurk, like a lurk more. And I think that's kind of what you can tell a big difference between some of these guys who just simply aren't cut out, or they end up crashing out or burning out. Because they get, like in the words of you, they end up getting graped for it, or destroyed for saying something dumb. And that's just the way that it works, man. And I am glad to hear it too. So I put those guys on my collab list to reach out to them. Hoplite I was at least familiar with. Mr. White, that's like the first time I'm hearing of him. Believe it or not, actually, I hadn't heard of him. Maybe I've seen him before and just didn't realize it. But I would like to reach out to him. And I did have a question earlier in chat before I forget about it. I think this is relating to AF Deplorable, but they asked, how did you feel that your space was covered by CNN?
Yeah, dude, that was a massive space. I haven't been doing them as much lately, but we were doing them a lot. And there was I think 30,000 views on that space, which for a space is a lot, or 30,000 listens. The views might've been more than that, but actual that tuned in, I think it was over 1,000 concurrent the whole time. And it was all the big names were in there, bro. Bro was getting ripped apart. Typically when we've had big events, I've ran some big spaces, like AFU, the CNN shit, just anytime something big like that's happened, we've had some big ones. It was pretty crazy to see it on CNN. It was it had my account. Actually, Hoplite was the co-host. He's typically my co-host. Him and Mr. White are the only people that co-host with me. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, that AF Deplorables guy, it's funny. I absolutely called that, and other people did too. But I said, this guy's going to go full A-log within a couple weeks. Sure enough, dude was posting about me every day for weeks. Now I honestly haven't clicked his account in a while. I will say this while we're here for both streams. Please stop interacting with the guy. Just block him and ignore. A guy like that, you're not going to you could own him so hard. He has you cannot shame somebody who does not have self-respect. So don't think that you're going to ratio on him and own him. I've done that a couple times when necessary. At this point, just block and ignore. All he wants is attention. If you actually want to get the guy, don't give him any attention. He's literally dedicating an account to rage baiting Groypers. And he's literally bragging about making some pennies off from Elon. Bro, I get 100 extra interactions and I don't even pay attention to the bank transfers. So I know you are literally making $50. So bragging about that is insane. That just shows you are genuinely a broke loser. But stop fucking interacting with that clown. Even to ratio him, even to own him. Listen, we get it. That guy is an unfuckable chud, loser piece of shit. Just let him fade away into obscurity, bro. The fact that people are still replying to every tweet, you're taking the bait, bro. Stop taking the bait. That's what he wants. He literally will post the classic A-log shit and every day try to make some stream about him. It's brother, nobody cares about you, dude. Your little 2 weeks of relevancy because you're so fat and unfuckable and chud is done, bro. We're done with you. But crazy. Yeah, it was funny to see it on CNN. We absolutely destroyed that guy and that stream. It was me, Jimbo, Beardson, Hop, Wurzel Root. It was all the big names were in there just bending this guy over. And they even had Beardson in the little clip they showed him. It only showed me and Hoplite, but you could hear Beardson's voice. It was hilarious.
I actually agree with you. I think it's weird because it's he's getting more powerful from it, right? Obviously, he's getting all the engagement, and he's getting some unlikely allies from Chop Champion came out of nowhere to agree with this guy. And I'm kind of curious, is it what you said earlier? Is it because they're getting assaulted so much, that they just become friends from that? They're getting attacked, they find friendship in that. But there was somebody else that they were all teaming up with. Was it Dangerfield? Or was it Faith Merrill? It was somebody. It was somebody else like that.
To do it, Faith doesn't. I don't think has actually acknowledged him, but he was trying to do a whole. He's basically trying to just latch on to anybody who are on the outsides of Nick, but in the community somewhat. Because I'll say this, I don't even think Chad actually likes the guy. Chop Champion, that is. Chud Champion. I don't think he actually likes the guy. He's a contrarian. That's what he does. Yeah. That's what he's always done. It's like the classic like route that these guys go. They get like some relevancy from Nick, and then they do this thing where they're like, I'm actually more like smart than Nick. I actually have Nick's take is actually wrong. And here's how he's wrong, and I'm gonna do the contrarian thing. Like, oh, he likes James Fishback. I'm gonna A-log James Fishback. Oh, every single time, whatever the new thing is, he just does the like contrarian Olympics. And I'm glad Nick's finally over it, because honestly, like, I was biting my tongue with that shit, because I really don't. If people come for me, but you really don't see me trying to start beefs. But I was like, bro, I'm so tired of like pretending like I can stand this guy at all. He's just such a fucking cringe lord. Chad Champion, bro, you're like 5'6" and Asian. Stop.
Yeah, I have. Somebody told me that they met him IRL, and he's like 5'6" or whatever. Which I would have thought he was taller just from like the camera angles and whatnot. But again, I kind of stayed away from that one because I didn't have a strong, I guess I didn't really have a strong grasp of like really who Chad Champion was. I knew he'd been around for a while. But I agree with your assessment there, like being fully contrarian. I think it's kind of what his gig was, right? Like that's what people tuned in to see him stream for, was to see his kind of like Nick plus. It's like New Game Plus, right? It's like I'm going to go from Nick, but I'm going to spin on it a little bit almost. I'm going to dance on it a little bit. Can you go with Richard Spencer too?
His circle's the people I was talking about earlier, where it's like the people who would like A-log Pine. It's like perfect example, same community. It's like the people who A-log Pine Sap, the people who like aren't Christian. They're like, they're like pagans. They're like, bro, Apollo, bro, like Thor. It's like, all right, bro, like, hey, where was Zeus at, bro, when we knocked your shit down and enslaved your entire people, bro? Oh, you're a Midas right LARPer? Hey, where was Zeus? Where was Poseidon when we took your shit?
Real.
Okay? Christ is king. You lost, bro.
Real.
So,
and have you seen that that makes me think of that one I can't remember who made it. I think it's the guy who's attached to like DC, I believe. But he made the one of like it's like Odin looking up at Jesus. It's like all the other Norse gods like realizing like it's over for them. Like, no, here's the true God. I thought that was actually pretty cool. I need to see the animation. I don't know where it's from actually. But I wanted to do the super chats. Good.
Guys, when they come in the space, when they come in your streams and they start giving you the Midas right, WP, TND, and they like white first and all that kind of stuff, they're almost always pagans. And you just tell them, hey man, you lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was Zeus when Jesus Christ overtook your entire countries? Where are the pagans at these days? How's it working out for y'all?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a civilization? So how can you be a pagan and also be a Midas right, white first type of guy? Like, listen, I'm pro-white again as it comes, but listen, I'm Christ first. Christ is king. It's the same people. It's always the same. If you want to just destroy them in a debate in 2 minutes, just tell them, hey man, you lost. Because just say, hey, just preface it with, hey, you're a Midas right guy, right? Midas right? Hey, you fucking lost, bro.
Right.
Pack it up. Gucci backpack.
Gucci backpack. That's funny. I didn't know what that meant at first until I saw the picture, and I'm like, I see what it means. Give it up.
I'm an old head, so I know the meme.
That's
How
funny.
old are you?
I'm older than you. I'm 30. I turned 31 in December.
Oh, okay. No, I'm older than I'm 32 in a couple weeks.
You're 32? Damn. I need to get Cialis then. Holy sh.
In a couple weeks, I'm 32. Yeah.
Damn, dude. Make me feel bad on the way out. That's fine.
No.
No, I'm just messing. I wanted to rip through the super chat, but before I do, is there anything, any kind of final mention you wanted to rip into?
Nah, I think we had a good, we went all over the place. So I definitely appreciate you having me. Make sure if you're on my stream, you go over to Atlas Thugged. We have a command for you over there. So we've been loving the content, man. Definitely become one of my favorite channels on YouTube.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the streams more often. I think I was missing them because I think we probably streamed sometime around the same time, maybe.
I would imagine.
Like nights.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely make sure you follow Atlas on his Kick, on his YouTube. I'm Cody USA on everything. I know you guys know me as Greg the Groyper, but that's just my Twitter. On Kick, I also have a Cody USA Twitter. But yeah, man, I just appreciate you having me. It's been fun just talking, and yeah, dude, I'll come back on anytime. And definitely, I see your list for the rest of the week. That's a W. I'm definitely going to be tuning in. I got to finish your yesterday stream with Tom. I got a little busy today, so I didn't get to. I'm actually moving in a couple weeks, but
we're good luck with that.
Check out. What's that?
Say good luck with the move.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, but W collabs coming up, and look forward to seeing you do. You got to do something with Pine, and since you're cool with him too, and then Pine Sap, Hoplite, Mr. White. Those would all be great collabs, but yeah, dude, I'll be tuning in, man. W channel.
I appreciate that. Yeah, of course, man.
Super chats.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in, and yeah, Pine Sap is somebody I'm going to be reaching out to. So I have a couple weeks already set, actually. So next week's actually already set with a bunch of collabs too. I just haven't announced it yet. So now I'm looking at week 3. I'm going to try to get to week 4. I think I'm going to do a whole month straight, as long as I can kind of string them all together, and then we'll see where we are with that. If it keeps going well, it keeps going successful, I might just keep it moving. My whole goal, really, when I even started my YouTube channel, was I wanted to be Timcast, but like not gay. You know, so like that was kind of like the mindset like behind it, was like wanted to talk to people and it not be like overtly libertarian and retarded. But yeah, we'll rip through some of these super chats here. I think I only got a couple, so it'll be pretty quick. You pull them over here. Where are they at? Under events, I do believe. Here is the first one. This is from Craig Butler. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's playing. And I don't know if it did or not. I don't think it did. Okay, well, it's not working for whatever reason. Regardless, this one came from Craig. It was from $2. He says, was going to show my face, but now I won't. I'm assuming that is in reference to what we talked about at the beginning with the doxing that happened to you.
Yeah, it was. I saw him say that earlier.
That's funny. Yeah, Craig, well, I don't know, Craig. No, it's probably safer to go faceless for as long as you possibly can. I would imagine that's probably the best bet.
Yes, I would agree. As somebody looks, I always feel a responsibility to say that. Seriously, if you can avoid having your stuff out there, it's smart. W Toy, legend.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, Toy just sent that one in. That's awesome. I appreciate it, man. It's just W Conversations. Love you both. Yeah, I love you too, brother. I appreciate you for hooking this up. You're actually the sole reason why it even happened. So WD, let me heart that comment there too. And I don't know why it's not functioning on my end. Hopefully this one works. Did not. Apparently the YouTube ones, it can't replay. That's unfortunate. This is a 5 from J.R. Williams. He says, in the bell curve, authors admit that billions in productivity have been lost from affirmative action through 90s. Add DEI, I'm sure it's in the trillions. And that is interesting. I would imagine that there probably is a massive loss of efficiency. Just in the fact of how everything's kind of ran. I mean, when you add women to the workplace, of course, things are going to be obviously ran like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. 5 from GR Williams. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. The bell curve, I'll have to read into that book, actually. I've never heard of it before. Maybe I haven't. I just don't realize it. And this last one here from Goat.
You don't seem to.
I watched Citizen Vigilante. Had to skip porno scene in the middle. Very degenerate. Don't bother watching.
$5. I watched Citizen Vigilante.
Interesting. There's a porno scene in the middle.
Degenerate. Don't bother.
I haven't heard of that movie.
So Citizen Vigilante is, I forget who made it, but it's the one that's getting like all of the play on YouTube, or not YouTube, on X right now. Which is like that one scene that keeps getting shown is like that white dude who's holding that Arab family or the Jewish family, I think, or whatever they are. I think they're Islamic, like hostage on the couch. And I think it's supposedly it's like, yeah, it's like him standing up and like taking the fight to, you know, to them or whatever. I don't know who produced it or not, but I know it's been getting a bunch of play, and they banned it in Germany already. Actually, I think is what I saw.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, didn't know how to porno scene in it, and ultimately, here's the thing. What it reinforces in the scene that's going viral is like it's reinforcing that women should be allowed to take their clothes off. Like it's not reinforcing the modesty. It's like of all the things to be mad about Muslims for, it's not going to be what they say. It's not going to be telling women to wear clothes. It's like actually one thing I agree with, you know, Muslims on is like, yeah, women should probably be wearing more clothes than not. But no, I appreciate it. Appreciate you for being here, man. Appreciate everybody, all the super chats, everybody in the audience as well, of course. And for those of you,
me on the way out.
What's that?
Drake Bell. Bro cooked me on the way out. He said you look like Drake Bell. Hey, W Drake and Josh, I'll take it.
I missed that one. Where is that one?
I just saw it on your screen. It said, "You bro looks like Drake Bell." I'm like, okay, well,
dude, that's crazy.
You know, we
You got a point though. I'm not. No shots being fired. I got a point there. I gotta say.
I can kind of see it a little bit.
Yeah, but when he was in his good era, we'll keep it at that.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take
good
it.
Era.
Like, okay, no, we don't need to get in that. I think he might have got graved, but
I think he did. I think he did. That's We'll leave it there actually. But man, I'm sure you're gonna keep streaming on Kick. Guys, I'll be taking the night off on Kick actually tonight, but I will be back tomorrow with another collab. Check the streaming schedule. I don't know if keeping it posted on X and in the Discord, but it will be with Josh VanDerNoord tomorrow, going back to 6 p.m. Eastern time, the usual time for the show. But yeah, for you, those of you who want to keep following along with Groyper ethics, economy, politics, and reactions, and I'm sure probably maybe MMA if you're playing that tonight, check out Cody USA. The link is in the description below on the Kick stream. But as always, Christ is king. And we have to end on the fact that since we can't do deportations, we will do impeachment. So impeach everybody in the administration. Blue wave in 2026. We are trying to get a tyrant for 2028. And all women over 150 pounds are going to get shot from a cannon to Israel. No questions asked. And then for women between 125 and 150, this is your 90-day notice to lose the weight, or you too will be shot from a cannon to Israel. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Get up and get out. Get out. Get out.
I have a question for you.
Say Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord. Say it. You say Christ is Lord. Get out. Get out. Christ